Do you work too much, constantly on the go, miss hanging out with friends, family, or even yourself? Do you ever feel like you need an escape? Winnie's Escapes is here to help with just that. We specialize in family travel, autism travel, group trips, vacations, staycations, and more. So when you're ready for your next escape, make sure you contact us at winniesescapes.com. Follow us on social media at Winnie's Escapes as well. Winnie's Escapes, where your dreams become your reality.
Turn your dreams into reality. That was
Yes, people.
beginning of my GLM commercial. Turn your dreams into
Mm,
reality. That
I
was
like
like
that.
10 years ago. GLM, baby. You know, I should start playing that commercial here. Welcome to Gotta Love Me, blah, 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 blah. We here at da 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 da, you know. It's been 10 years
Exactly.
since I've had my website and really turned Gotta Love Me into like a business. And it's been a struggle the whole decade, but I'm just happy where it is today. So I'm not even worried about the past at this point.
You
Just
can't be. 'Cause all you're doing is moving forward.
exactly. But let me stop being rude. Welcome to the Winnie's Escapes podcast, like we do every Wednesday. I'm your host, Quest, alongside the CEO herself of Winnie's Escapes LLC, the one, the only, the lady of GLM, Winnie's Escapes.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I really
Gotta do
appreciate
the
it.
theme song. What the theme song gonna be like? What you want to do? Winnie escapes. Winnie escapes. Hey,
Break
yeah.
me up a piece of that.
I don't know.
I don't
It got
know.
lit because you like music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, gotta be something really lit.
So it gotta be like.
With a hood, with a hood, with a hood.
I don't think people escape to the hood. So
So,
I
I'm
don't
saying where
know.
they at. Where they at?
The land.
Speak. We
Bring
ain't
them out.
speaking
Bring
yet,
them
but
out.
we
Bring them
got
out.
out.
Bring them out.
You gotta bring them
See?
out. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to know where everybody at. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Whitney Escapes Wednesday, when your dream becomes your reality. So today on the episode of Whitney's Escapes,
You're so corny. Anyways, how was your week?
busy, 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 but busy is good. Still, figuring out this balance life.
Well, as the Libra diva, I'm all about balancing my scales. But what people don't realize is sometimes the balance of the scales are not equal. But even this is balance. Even this is balance because it still amount to the same amount me as a whole. It's all about what's on the scales. And if the one that's supposed to be higher is more of the priorities versus the ones that's really weighing you down. Yes, I know you guys. I'm very deep. Thank you. I'm very deep. But it's true. I tell people everything is all about your perspective on it. How you read things, even dreams, how you interpret them. Every time someone says something to you, whether it's criticism, whether it's a compliment, everything is how you interpret it. The average person interpret everything negatively first, which is kind of sad. But I interpret things in a realistic way, but in a positive way, so I can digest it properly for my
Hmm.
own sake, my own sanity, to help me progress in life. Hey, DJ Cyclops. Oh, he called us the little sisters. That's so adorable. I remember when she was little.
I'll always be a little because I got that DNA. I just married.
You married a
So,
lady.
yeah, I'm married to Lee. So, but doesn't mean my family disappears. It's because my last name changed. But yeah, I think it also deals with your dynamic or your lifestyle because I was just thinking to myself, um, I always preach about balance, but it's very difficult running a household, running a business,
Yeah.
being a mom and a wife. And I say that differently. You'd be, oh, that probably was the same. No, it's not. Running your house by itself is a business. Being a mom by itself is a business. Being a wife by itself is a business. And then having your own business is a business. So all those entities, um, and then yourself. Then you can't forget about yourself. So there's so many different things going on all the time, especially now with my business because people are traveling and so many things are changing and people want to do this and that. Like for the last week, I've been on hold for like 5 hours with different companies. Thank God I have multiple. um, cell phones, so that I can handle it. But it's just half of my day I'm on hold waiting for people to solve problems that don't always get solved because people
Exactly.
are leaving like 2 weeks, next week, oh, this changed. And it's not the islands, it's something happened in your own personal life that we had to, figure out. It's just like, oh my God, I got on this phone with these people, listen to ding, dong, ding, dong. And then your other phone ringing, and then like someone trying to call you, you don't want to hang up that. So it's just been really, really crazy. And then with things reopening, all the news guidelines and rules. So every day I like wake up to like 1,000 emails. Like, what a way to wake up your day. It was 1,000, cash apps or something. Or 1,000 deposits in my account.
Receive
Then it was
that.
exciting. Yes, when you do it. But
Yes, he will. Yay. Taking the church. Hallelujah. Try again.
exactly. But it's true. So it's just how you look at things, knowing that some things don't have to be done right now, that right this instant. Like you said, prioritize what's important. Like this is like the fourth day I told my daughter I was gonna do her hair and I haven't done it yet.
Well, you know what?
She's only
It
wearing a
still
puff
look
off.
good.
It's
Still
gonna
look
be
good.
cute, but I'm gonna wash and decondition everything. I haven't had time to do that, so I'm like, it looks like it's gonna be happening over the weekend
That's
sometime.
not always. This is what I tell people. At the end of the day, it may be a lot of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Which is true. Hey, look, it's only me. But at the same time, you have to know how to balance your skills. I don't know how many skills you got, but you have to know how to balance your skills. Okay, because you're a priority, your family is a priority, your business is a priority, but it's all about how you balance. What? Okay, I'm trying to be deep. What's up, Will? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's
I
poppin'?
just
What's
laugh at
poppin'?
how I just get booted myself out of here.
I
Like,
saw that. But you know me, I'm a professional. That I just keep going and flowing because that's what I do. That's what I does. You hear me now?
you heard me?
Ew, that's like an old lady trying to be hip. Like, don't do that way. You're too old for that. Like, don't try to be hip, okay? You're not like
Yeah,
stop.
whatever.
Stop, okay? Stop. Now you're gonna make me lose my train of thought. Anyways, what I was gonna say is you have a lot going on, and what people don't realize is they're like, well, here's people who swear they giving you knowledge when they really not. They be like, well, you have to learn how to prioritize. I'm like, well, you need to fix your face, but you can't, can you? So it's like, no, it's true.
Mm,
I'm like, you don't think I
trust
know
me.
that? Like, you don't think I know that? You know what I'm saying? And it's not even about that because what people don't realize is everything that you're doing is all a priority in its own sense.
Amen.
You are a priority, but you don't always put yourself first. You know what I'm saying? Your family is a high priority, but sometimes they may go before you a little after. It depends, your kids and your business is a priority. You kind of needed to pay your bills like a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, people don't realize you can say that, but realistically, it's all a priority in its own manner. To the point
Exactly.
that even though your family comes first, right? Outside of jobs and all that stuff, or your but there's time that family matters will have to be put on the back burner for you to handle your business. Let's try right
Amen.
now. Yes, your daughter needs her hair done, but it's still done. Just ain't touched
Hmm.
up. So you're gonna take this time right now to go brush her edges. Okay, baby hair. Or you're gonna go handle your business, literally with your business, and then put that on the backboard and get back to it. Doesn't mean
Exactly.
you neglected her. It's just sometimes you have to switch things and move things that's realistic to what your life and your timeline and your priorities, how you want to maneuver. Now, what people
Exactly.
think you should do, that doesn't work. I keep telling people, stop giving people boring, average, cliche answers. When your life is not average and regular, I'm sorry, those solutions is not for me. Period.
That part. And that's the whole point. What people have to understand. Just because you think our life mirrors doesn't mean it mirrors. You know what I'm saying? Our priorities, our lifestyles, Everybody is different. Relationships are different. Everything is different. Nothing is equal. Nothing is the same. Everybody's individual. Like you might think, running after that check is more important. I might think running after my daughter is more important.
Facts.
Exactly.
That part.
Exactly.
I need to be a gift for like Jada. That part.
Hmm.
Or I gotta figure out.
Exactly. So it's changes day by day. Yesterday I do a lot of earrings. I'm like, I had to go to the grocery store. I had to pay some bills, get them out. So let me go do what I need to do to set up my month. At the beginning of the month, I want to make sure I got all these things in order. And also I had some clients that are traveling. So I had to sit on the phone for hours and hours and hours because they're leaving soon. And they needed some stuff done that I couldn't do myself. I had a call to have the back office doing because they're leaving that soon. And so I have to sit there and wait. And I'm like, oh, we can wait till tomorrow. No, this person's going to tomorrow. So somebody who's trying to make a payment for a trip in December, you're going to have to wait. You are not leaving today or tomorrow. Keep that money where it needs to be. And I'll call you to make your payment. I'm not dropping what I'm doing. That's, like you said, prioritize. My client is leaving in 2 weeks. She needs something fixed right now. You're leaving in a couple of months. I'm not going to, jump over bounds for stuff like that. It will get done, but people don't understand. Definitely in the business that I am, stuff happens all the time. But then also too, I cut my phone off. This is a business. You're not going to have access to me 24 hours a day. No. My office hours are from 9 to 5.
I just saw Big Red in a movie too, a throwback movie when I watched Seven the other day too. I said, look at Big Red.
Exactly. People have to respect people's boundaries and, stuff like that. Like, oh, I just called you. Okay, I'll get to you tomorrow. Even things in with your home. Like sometimes I have to keep on reminding my kids and my husband, like, hey, you are available. Stop coming to me every 5 seconds. Did you just walk past your dad to come to me? Oh. Go back right back where you were and go handle that. So
reroute.
Exactly. It's so crazy, but I'm so happy that my co-host keeps me on track and let me know what's going on because she
shout out to the world. Who may that be? Who was that?
Because Yelling herself. She made me realize that last week at the end of the month, I didn't do the topic I do at the end of the month. You guys know what that is, General. Relationships. And you guys know y'all love when we talk about relationships, so I'm glad she reminded me. So now we're going to talk about the beginning of the month, and then we'll talk about it again at the end of the month. So there's so many things I can start off by saying and talking about when it comes down to relationships. And I'm not just talking about relationships with your significant other. You know what I mean? Everything in different sisters relationship, business relationships, friendships are important and have different levels and values to them. One thing I like to tell everybody, and I know if y'all watch our podcast, I always talk about what? Communication. That one powerful word, I said world, word will change the dynamic of a relationship. It's communicating and and listening.
What up? Oh, we'll see you in Florida very soon in 5 weeks, baby.
Yes, it's important. Communication and actively listening. People don't realize that. And communication can go so many different ways. You know what I'm saying? Verbal communication, physical communication, nonverbal communication. It's so many things where you can communicate without even using your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
See how she communicate with me? I communicate with her. She knew I meant one moment and she paused. See what I'm saying? Communication. I'm just giving an example. I'm just giving an example. That's all I was doing. Just giving an example. Go ahead, proceed.
And it's also important, guys, to talk. Express your thoughts.
Express yourself.
Be open and honest.
We need Nino on here.
Huh?
We need Nino with the drives every time we talk about something.
So he was saying like this.
That's how he sits?
Yeah, so ladies. Oh wait, let me get a mic. Let me get my juice. Yeah. So, I was listening to the podcast. Wait, I was listening to the podcast, and I appreciate the topic today. And you right with communication's important. Shout out to DJ El Nino watching the show, y'all. I don't got the crazy background, but I do got my pillow deciding if I want to put it on my back or
Even
not.
Elias laughing because that's his boy. He the one who told about Fleet too. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, that's
But you know that saying, that lean.
Yep.
And
You
then
got that lean.
Got that voice. Yeah, ladies, I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
It's nothing but love, nothing but love, it's nothing but love.
Baby.
And the reason, you know what, guys, and I know question what I'll be talking about when I bring this up. You know, there's a TV show called Ready to Love. And it's on OWN Network. Even though they're not sponsoring me, I'm still gonna talk about it just in case you want to watch it. So I watch it with my boo thing, my baby dad, and my husband. And one thing I notice about these shows is that no one knows how to communicate.
Oh my God. I was thinking the same thing while I was watching it.
And two, men versus female. Like our thought process, well, they'll say something or somebody will mention something and they will take it totally different than what it was supposed to be. Instead of communicating it, they'll go somewhere or flee left. And I'm like, really? But you ready to love? You can even have a simple conversation to be like, hey, for one clear example, well, I have several clear examples off of that show, but the last episode was pissing me off. For one thing, you know, this guy really was feeling this girl, and they were this episode was when the girl's exes got to meet the guys they were currently dating. Mm-hmm. And so one of the guys said to the ex, you know, tell me a little about some action. He was like, well, you know, she makes a lot of money. She knows how much she could spend, and she spends it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So then his thought was like, oh, she's bad with fine. Like, you know, instead of like she doesn't pay her bills. Like that's his automatic thought. No, he said she makes a lot of money, so she knows how much she can spend. Therefore, she's not on a budget. Mm-hmm. But obviously, you're in her house. She makes probably more money than you from her occupation. Yeah. And she gets not on a budget or a savvy saver. Instead of you having a conversation to be like, hey, you know, is budgeting something you want us to work on this and that? Because obviously you make more than enough money to supply your, you know, your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. But just off of that, he went to the next chick that he wasn't even feeling like that because he was scared that she didn't know how to spend her money. I'm like, no, obviously her bills are paid. You're in a lovely house that she lives in. She looks fabulous. She never looks a mess. And then she even said when she had her like little private thing, yeah, you know, budgeting is something I need to work on. But he didn't even have a conversation with her. You told me you really feel her. You wanted to try to take it to the next level. Yes, because I'm going to tell you 1 second. To the next level. But you couldn't have a conversation to be like, 1 + 1? Yes, T-Punch yelling.
It's funny how the ex said all these great things and he took one thing and ran with it. But what I like what she did, the reason why all the men like her, because she has a lot of great qualities, is once he left, she told the ex, at the end of the day, my finances is none of his concern because I got that. You know,
yeah, she wants to work on it herself.
Yeah,
but it was just a conversation.
It wasn't. That's not his concern. I'm not asking to pay my bills. Like you said, I make money and I got that. Yes, I know I need the budget and stuff, but I will have that in control. That's not his concern. It's not my finance because I don't need him for any of that. You know, and she politely just said, "Is my finances is not his concern."
And then when she went on that one-on-one camera, she said that's something she wants to work on budgeting. But she's young. She has a great career. And she don't have no kids. So she wants to blow money on yeah, she wants to blow money on trips or nails and bundles, whatever the heck she wanted to do. She got obviously either it's a condo she renting or it could have been her own house. So she pays her bills. She just ain't saving for nothing else. And but she's still young and she has a great career. And from what he does and what she does, she should be making more money than him. Let's just keep it 100. So that is not his concern. But what turned me off, even though he was goofy anyways. But I'm like, really? You can't even have a conversation. You really like just go the next day, you on a date with somebody else, but you ready to love? If you really feeling fine, you're really ready to love. All you have to do is say, hey, yeah, your ex mentioned blah blah blah. Is that something you could work? You want to work on? I'm really good. I'm really good with budgeting. Maybe I can give you some tips, but that's up to you. If you want to go deeper in this, whatever the case may be, as just a general thing, it wouldn't be like, oh, let me see what so-and-so is doing just because.
Yep.
Exactly. It was ridiculous when people say, and one of the characters I love on there, because he always senses stuff, but I'm like, a lot of these guys, no offense to dudes, but on this episode particularly, like could not communicate their thought.
No, you're right. Shout out to Baby G. But you know what my favorite person was on there?
Who?
When Liz and David went to meet her friend, and he was like, if we can bring down the strong tone of the room. He said, bring it down, the strong tone. I'm sorry, I don't know how to break down my alpha. I was like,
I don't know how to be weak.
Oh my god. When he said that, he's gonna bring down the tone in the room. What? He don't know how to be weak. He's an alpha. That's all he knows. I was like, look.
Yeah, that was good. But that also showed the other guy because he was on it. Everything he said was so right. Like, so since how he set him up for that conversation was smooth as, I don't know what's that smooth. That was the smoothest thing I could think. That dude was smooth like a baby's bottom. He said, so, oh yeah, so you feel like you a safe place? Well, since you a safe place, why would I was like,
and he wasn't being, and that, but people got to know the difference between being arrogant, being confident, constructive criticism, and people just being a douchebag.
Yeah.
He simply asked you a simple question because we're all adults. You just wasn't ready for the question. Just like I remember, I've said it before. People had a situation with me with the clients, and it was, I'm like, I didn't come at them no wrong way. I didn't say anything bad. I didn't say anything wrong. I asked simple questions that was hard for them. That's a personal problem. I'm not talking to you like a child and a baby because you couldn't answer a simple question. Like you said, you want her to come to you as a safe haven, but at the same time, it wasn't a safe place. You want her to confide in you, but you loose with the lips. How that work? Where they do that at?
You know why too? Because he couldn't be honest that what I love what my husband said. He said they ain't honest, the men ain't honest on here because they don't want to get their feelings hurt on national television.
Like the dude with that was on in the Airbnb instead of his real house. That's why he didn't want to bring her upstairs. What you remember the dude? Everybody's gonna kiss everybody on the forehead like he Tay Diggs and the best man. You ain't Tay Diggs. You ain't Harper.
But it made perfect sense. He said, yeah, these guys aren't being upfront because they don't want to be embarrassed on national television. Nope. But I'm like, and that also proves to me that they're not ready to love. Because when you're really ready to love and you're not caring what other people think. If you feel like somebody is really your soulmate, you will be like, you know what? Tiffany, Ashley, whatever these people name is, X, Y, and Z. And because it's real. You know what I'm saying? Everything is real in these streets. And for you to want to be like, oh, I don't think this, that shows you being weak as a man to me, first and foremost. Like, we can't and these are some seasoned gentlemen. They're not young.
Let's be really clear, too, for the people who've probably never seen the show. It's not like a flavor of love. I love Ray J or nothing like that. People on this show trying to get famous. It's real Black successful people that is just tired and literally just want to be in a fulfilled relationship. 99% of them is really trying to find that. But
that's what it's supposed to be. But we don't know what people underline attention. Maybe they want to be famous. But the whole premise was bringing regular people who are tired of being single and ready to settle. Like they're ready for love. You know what I'm saying? They're in a certain place in their life and they want a commitment and want to start a family or have children or whatever the case may be. But watching these shows, made me realize that my husband like, thank God, he's like, I can't imagine dating now. How are you even doing this during the pandemic? Like he was saying, he said, oh, you have great points. But also with my mind, I don't feel like it's kind of realistic because if you're really dating somebody and you're using, you can't just swing over to Tiffany in 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? It's too many also options. If you're in a one person relationship, if you're really talking to somebody, unless you're open, most people who are saying this is the one that they want to be with and or take something seriously, like one of the ladies says, no, I'm been talking to this one guy because this is who I like. Why I talk to all these other people because I don't vibe with them. You know what I'm saying? So I respect that. Not trying to be like, well, he don't like me today. Let me go to Alex because now Alex like me or Tom likes me. Like, what is this? Hot potato?
Well, I don't agree with that 100% because you can definitely like someone and been strong like, but this is a dating show. You're supposed to date because it's kind of like what people have, it's like first impressions, right? You're drawn into someone. So all of a sudden everybody becomes a blur. To a certain degree, that's okay. But what happens if the one you actually supposed to be with was someone there that you didn't even get a chance to see as of yet? With the one lady, it was only one of them she vibed with, so it worked out for her to only focus on her.
Yeah, at now, but I'm saying
Yeah,
in the beginning, yeah, you're supposed to date around, but they've been in here for a couple of weeks now. It should be kind of like you know who everybody is. They've been on
well,
enough
not it
double dates and
shouldn't
stuff.
be because even in a dating world, you can like someone for a minute and then things do switch. It happens all the time. It's not unrealistic.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
more
like
the
it's
fact
unreal. I'm
that
just saying more so of okay, I'm really feeling T-Quest. T-Quest, sneeze funny now. Oh, I'm gonna go with Jessica tomorrow, and because I didn't like how she sneezed, it's like,
no, sometimes that does happen, especially if you have like a strong pet peeve. Little things like that can definitely turn you off. It's realistic.
but
It
you don't have
happens.
the conversation, and we're like
Some
40 years
people,
old.
well, that's the whole reason why these people are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, and they can't get right because little things like that. And guess what? You have the right to have your pet peeves, but
Yeah.
guess what? If you have a pet peeve and this person have you, that means you was not the one for them.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I'm like, I'm feeling you, I'm vibing with you, we cool. But then something happens. I'm like, you know what? This is a dating show. We still here, so let me just see what's up and so. So we may spark, and the spark may even be stronger. That's the whole point. One thing I don't like is that you can be liking people, which is cool, and things is good, but at the same time, if something like you said do go wrong, now you really messed up because you never even gave nobody else a chance, not
Yeah,
realizing
I do
this
think people
person.
should, give people chances, but I still think that it shows me why most people are single because nobody communicates. If your
Some
pet
of them
peeve
do,
is
but this don't show it on the show. Like if you notice some of the reunions and stuff, they actually like, yeah, that night we talked and we texted and da 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 da. It didn't end so
yeah,
well. So, but like you said, Whitney, nowadays people is like instant. Oh, I love you so much. You're my world. You my oh,
microwave.
perfect example. Naya and Chris last season. Oh yes, Chris, that's my one. That's my boo. That's my man. He said one thing wrong about finance. She didn't even ask him to really explain it, so she can understand. She was just like, "Oh no, oh no, that's not gonna work for me." So this is how you my boo. He's not my boo. Who told you that? He was like, "Oh, you've been saying this whole time." No, I didn't. I'm good on that. That's
Yes,
why he bring her back to the season because they knew that was so wrong of her. Like you said, switching in an instinct. And where you at? You out here? Well, I'm single and I'm dating whoever I want, and this, that, and the third. Well, you go ahead and be single because he's already finding someone building strong connection with the one he's actually supposed to be with. He been giving you all that time, that whole time. You played him, and who the one really getting played is still single.
exactly. Off of a simple conversation. And what he said wasn't bad. We split stuff 50-50. You don't know your dynamic yet. This is just a general. He's not saying you pay everything, but if you just got into a relationship with somebody and you're really trying to build, you probably will split things 50-50 until you guys figure out where you're trying to go, who's stronger here, whatever the case may be. I paid it. In any relationship, and I don't like 50-50. We all come in 100, and then we make everything work. You come in with your 100% you, and I come in my 100% me, and we put everything in a pot, and we figure everything out on how it's supposed to work. That's called teamwork partnership. Yes, T-Quest GLM.
You know, a lot of people don't know how to communicate.
What?
A lot of people know how to talk. They don't know how to verbalize themselves. They don't know how to really speak to one another. Like, you know how people get in arguments all the time because they don't know how to have a model tone. They don't know how to have a respectful conversation. They don't know how to really express themselves properly. So it's hard for them to communicate. Just like that happened before in one of the episodes where the guy says something. He's pretty much just saying is like, I understand we're dating, but just because you're dating not me, I'm just gonna just jump, buy you a house, take care of you and your 4 kids in 2.2 seconds. Like that's your life. I understand I'm entering it, and I understand a man is a part of the household, but that does not mean I'm about to take on 50 G's more a month because you come away more than me. Like, give me a minute to get to know you, your dynamic, and
Yes.
it's due to something I want to hear. But she was like, well, at the end of the day, it's me and my kids, and he talking about he ain't trying to da da da. So bye. I'm like, y'all just really just missed that. He wasn't wrong for what he was trying to say. He just didn't know how to say it properly, and she didn't know how to receive it properly.
Because she ain't listen. The
Nope.
communication goes both ways. Active communication means actively listening. And the problem with most people are when somebody's telling you the truth about you or a situation and you don't like it, you automatically on a defense. Why are you on a defense definitely when it's in a relationship? And we talk about a dating show, but let's be real 100% here.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my husband, and this is what we always say, we are never on defense, we're always on offense because we're on the same freaking team.
Mm-hmm.
So the end goal, whatever the situation is to what's going to be best for our family dynamic, our relationship, where we live. What was that?
He said communicate with me all the time. Of course, because you're a stalker. Stalkers are always on point with everything. So you're doing your job. And I'm glad that you got your GLM shirt and wearing it in your gig tomorrow. Make sure you make somebody with not an Apple phone, no disrespect, but somebody with an Android to take a great picture of you in your shirt so I can post it up, okay? So back to serious talking. Active.
Yes, you have to be actively listening because communication goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people miss. I can't communicate with T Quest if she doesn't respond back to me. I'm expressing what my thoughts and feelings. I need to know that she heard and understood my thoughts and feelings. And then we need to figure out how we're going to come to a resolution to whatever the situation and problem is. That is communicating.
What? What happened?
Not me. Hmm?
What?
You didn't hear that when we repeat it? So
No, I'm
let's
good.
start back
You,
again.
you probably said something wrong, so I don't like it anyway. So
But it's true.
like that, like I wasn't paying attention, and I just came up with my own conclusion, and it was a negative one. Wait, you got to roll with me. I'm rolling with you.
I'm
Roll with
rolling
me.
with you. But for example, I'm going to say it for the people in the back. Quest. Communication goes, I say something to T Quest. She acknowledged what I said, even sometimes repeat it. So wait, you saying X, Y, and Z, 1, 2, 3? I could say yes or no. Okay, now that I understand that she understands, let's come with a solution or how we're going to fix whatever the situation is. That is communication and actively listening. It's not, oh, you did, and then, that's arguing. Okay? And in relationships, arguing is not healthy. It's not because then people don't hear and then the problem still stay. The sequence over there, I'm just ignoring her. And I'm gonna keep on talking until she fix her attitude because this is not snapping your neck. You got something to say over there? You got beef?
First of all, and then people like that, they didn't hear nothing the other person said. They heard was sound. Ready for the sound to stop so they can start talking. They could have agreed with them, but for the fact that they was already on 1000, like they didn't hear nothing they said. You know what I'm saying? And even in those moments, we can talk about people communicating with one another. We can talk about how it's easy to verbalize with one another. Well, not verbalize, but have a conversation the right way, the adult way, the respectful way. How many people in relationships really just talk just like that? It's rare. I'm talking about you listen to other people, you little hot mess.
No, I do. I listen. But you know what, guys? I'm gonna be 100% honest with you.
I didn't say you.
Like I'm always am because this is my
She ain't
family, you my
listening.
people's.
She ain't listening.
I had to learn how to properly communicate with my husband. One, I realized his love runs deep for me. So I'm the only person who could piss him off like this. The only person that could get him from 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. And he's an alpha male, and I'm definitely alpha female. Like I don't back down. But I had to realize, in a relationship, we both can't be bulls, and I'm a Taurus, so we both can't be that. That's not healthy. So I learned his communication style. One thing I learned was I can't cut him off while he's talking. Why? Honestly, he'll forget what the heck he was trying to say. Like more so than anything, he will forget what he was trying to say. So then I will miss the point. So I sit there and just be like, and I just listen. Even if I like it or not, I listen. And I also tell people, you have to do what you want. I sit and actively listen because when I have something to say, I want him to sit and actively listen. Something else for you ladies to know that I do. I don't ever, when he's telling me, oh, wait, you might do, wait, I ain't like how you make the collard green, whatever. Something that I might, don't talk about my food because I'm very passionate about my food. He'll never do that because he loves my cooking. But say if he says something about, for something like that, I would never say, well, I don't like how you wash those dishes. Like, I never do that. I never come to him and go, well, I don't like something you did. Because that right there, when somebody's telling you that you did something to them or you offended them, and then you go right back and say what they did to you, just disregard everything that they just said to you. You don't do that. Wait, they're calling.
There's certainly who start with the mild tone and we fail to remain mild. Especially when something is said that hurts one person. We need to learn to communicate through our emotions.
That is so true.
Tit for tat is deflection. Facts.
Facts. And it also shows you who you are as a person. I respect my husband and I love him dearly. So I respect his feelings. Respect when he has something to say to me and vice versa.
Hmm.
So we might get into an argument, and I'm gonna use the word argument maybe once a year. The last time I argued with my husband, I can't really tell you, to be honest with you. Because we learn how to communicate with each other. And it's not, degrading me because I let him speak. No, it's respecting his feelings and his emotions at the time. And I take into account whatever he might be saying to me. You know what I'm saying? Because like he'd be like, oh, Whit, I didn't appreciate that you did X, Y, and Z, and vice versa. When I come to express whatever, you canceled on me 3 times. We supposed to watch a movie. Like, what the heck? I'm like, you're right, babe. I mean, blah blah blah, or whatever the case may be that I'm not doing that he expected me to do. I respect him enough to listen to what he has to say, and then put in my Rolodex. Would do better with that because I would like him to do the same thing. Respect is mutual, no matter who it is, and we need to realize that definitely your partner sees you in ways that you probably don't even see yourself because you spend the most time in the most intimate places with that person. So you gotta understand definitely this if it's your partner, somebody you love and they love you, everybody, your partner ain't supposed to be your partner first and foremost. So y'all gotta get that together. If y'all ain't really here because some people be with people for malicious or, not good intent. You know what I'm saying? When they try, oh, I see Quest, she popping in these streets. Guys do it too, just like girls. Let me get connected to her, to see how she can elevate me. And then, coming on with your representative and as this guy's trying to, fool her that she's in a relationship with you and wonder why I can't go back and forth because you came in this relation not genuinely, yeah, I really like Kuti because I like her vibe, I like what she's about. Yeah. It took a long time, guys. And Quest knows. Quest will tell y'all. It's the old wit and the new wit. I be ready to go pop off, ready. Like I don't like disrespect, and I could go from 0 to quick, fast, in a hurry. But I
Like,
couldn't do that in a
boom.
relationship.
As soon as what's the little red thing? Meow, meow. She off. And I mean, I've known her all my life. I've known her for years. That's what you older folk be doing when y'all want to tell your age. No, I've known her for 33 years. I know Black don't crack. And it's been a lot of growth within her because she ain't got time for no foolishness. So like I commend her for growing into the woman that she is today. And I've been through that too. Well, not really, because I don't really snap on people. I'm one of them silent people, the ones you really got to watch out for, because they always
That's
say
the
if someone
request.
is silent all the time, in the moment, like you really get them to that level, you're not really sure what we're capable of doing.
Hmm.
It's the
I said
unseen.
I don't ever want to see Quest snap on somebody because it's not going to be good at
It's
all.
not gonna be good. It's
I'm
really not.
happy now that she's expressing when she doesn't like something to people because I'm like, if Quest snaps, it's gonna be something else. And then she know when I'm pissed, she goes, "Wait, are they trying to bring out the old wit? Is the old wit about to come back?" I'm like, Quest, they testing me, Quest. They don't. They think this kindness from my weakness. They don't know. They don't know. I will
They don't know.
hurt somebody. But
Oh, that was good. Like we know.
in a relationship, you have to know that. And I'm a very verbal person, as you guys can tell on the show. I can communicate my feelings very well. Yes, T Quest, yes, Liam.
Okay, because I never actually said what I was gonna say. No disrespect.
Go ahead.
It's
This is
like
communication.
absolutely. Um, you got that.
I've been married 10 years. We've been together for 15.
I haven't. Let me not do that to myself. So sometimes when I'm like conversing with people, they like, "Are you listening to me?" I'm like, "Yes." Oh, I'm like, "No." What it is I'm actually listening to you. You're not used to people listening. You're not used to people communicate with you properly. You're used to people cutting you off, snapping on you. That when you have someone that's actually listening and quiet, you don't know what to do with it. Oh, you still here? I'm like, yes. Well, why are you quiet? I'm like, because you're speaking and I'm listening. Oh, and they'd be like so thrown off. Same thing when I used to be on one of my other shows, and there was multiple people on here, right? They was like, well, people felt like you was mad quiet and you didn't say much, and I'm like, yes, because if I'm the host of the show and I have four guests on my show, and I already asked the question, I'm going to listen to what my guests have to say, cater to my guests, and when it comes around to me, before we go into the next topic, that's when I will converse. It's not being boring. It's not just being a mute. It's called being respectful, but you guys are not used to it. That is so not natural for you. It's not your norm that you're taking me in a negative light, not realize I'm one of the rare ones that's actually just being respectful.
Hmm. And
Mhm.
that shows you right there how it's important as adults to teach our children listening skills and listen to them. Like this one, I read it somewhere. Somebody said, I never tell my children, shut up or I'm too busy or something. You know, I forgot the exact words, but it was something because I know sometimes I'm like, I'm busy, but I try not to. But I do make sure
Yeah.
that me and my children have real conversations all the time, every day. Like we have time. Like me and my son will we walk every day together, 2 to 4 miles a day. And the whole time he's talking to me and I'm listening to him, giving him my feedback and stuff like that. He even had a situation at school where one of his friends told him that he liked him. And he told him that the kid told my son, that he was bisexual. My son said, okay. And he was like, we could still be friends, but I don't like boys, but we could still be cool and be friends. And the guy go, okay, I understand. And, my son told me about that. My husband was like, what? Like, I can't believe they're talking about this at this age. And then when I had talked to my husband private, he said, wait, he was right. I'm glad we had this conversation with him younger. Cause he's like, we always trying to do stuff early. Like they ain't gonna talk about this in school, like sex and stuff. My kids knew about that in kindergarten. Like I don't play as a parent and sexualities, my mom didn't have to talk to us about that because that wasn't so prevalent. But I'm like, no, I wouldn't want another kid to explain sexualities and sex and stuff to my kid. And I told him, I said, you handle yourself very well. my husband, he said, I'm so happy we had that conversation because he was like, I don't think we should be talking about that. I was like, no, because if another kid ever come up to him and say something, how will he react not being prepared? And it proves that he felt so comfortable. Like, Mom, guess what happened to me at school? So, my friend so-and-so, he was like, openly and freely, because we communicate with each other and I listen to him. And he feels comfortable to talking to me. So when he gets into a relationship with someone older, he can do the same thing. And he sees mommy and daddy communicate, even when we don't agree. Mommy, you was mad at daddy the other day? That's why he said, because you was quiet. And I said, yeah, your father did upset me about X, Y, and Z, but we resolved. He said, yeah, I know y'all better to, because kids watch everything. And I told my husband, if it's not over their heads, communicate, show them that, because life is not perfect. They don't need us to be happy-go-lucky all day. They don't need to see us crazy either. They need to see balance and understand proper communication, how to properly love each other, how to listen to one another, how to look. My husband's like, shocked. My son's like, why you look like that? He said, I was just shocked that, mad at you that the whole situation happened. He's like, oh yeah, it kind of shocked me a little bit too, Dad, but I just told him what it was, and we're still friends. But yeah, I just told him I don't like boys like that. And my husband was like, yeah, they're sponges. And I was like, I'm just glad that we did that. But we have to constantly realize when you have children, like even Quest, she was on the phone with my daughter for 5 hours today about nothing because she just wanted to talk to Quest. But she was there. She listened to her. Even if it didn't make sense, she was communicating with her to let her know that you're important. We have to start at a young age and beginning of relationships and friendships. It doesn't always have to be your spouse to build a strong communication. But it's important to have that, because if you can't communicate and your emotions are involved, that's when all hell breaks loose. Because you can, like, at your job, leave it at the door. Where you leaving at the door when you're at home? You gotta learn you need to learn self-control and how to control your emotions and how to properly communicate so you can get what you're looking for in the end.
What you looking for? I know
I
what
know
you're
what you're
looking
looking
for.
for.
What
What
you
you
searching
searching
for?
for?
You
You
don't have to
have to
search
search
no
no
more.
more.
It's so
Right,
crazy. I
Quest?
need to Facte mundo. But what? I'm just saying. But we can talk about this for a while. But let's get some feedback from our audience, okay? Let's get some feedback. But
Hey, girlie.
what?
Wanda Wisdom in the building.
We can get feedback from our audience, okay?
See, look, I got myself out here looking crazy tonight.
Hey, do you got us on somewhere live right now? Because we can hear us. Get off of Facebook.
See, look, I got myself out here hearing you, Jack.
You got us on somewhere live right now because we can hear us.
Well, where does that come
Get off
from?
of Facebook.
Ah, yeah.
You got it on your computer. Bloopers.
Did I just have a 101 moment?
Yes.
That was shady.
I had a
just wanted to
101.
shady.
Oh, no,
That's
a
hilarious.
101.
Yeah.
Like English 101.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you meant the show.
No.
I knew what she meant. What? You shady. I knew exactly what you.
You know what, T-Quest? Don't have me in your mess now.
I'm just here to entertain the people. But for a second. I'm listening. Go
Oh
ahead.
my God.
I was like, why is this making all of this noise? I'm only on one device, but I forgot I had two screens open on this one device.
I had two screens.
Hey, ladies.
Hey.
I had to jump on and show some love. You see what I look like,
Beautiful.
Thank you, honeys, as you all do. I love this topic tonight. This communication and stuff is one of my favorite topics. I think one of the best things that ever happened to me was in the 90s. A lady that I attended church with, she's actually my ex-husband's aunt. She gave me a book called The Art of Conversation.
Mm.
And I'm going kind of way back. Nowadays, because I used to be so passive and let me just listen to you. And really, I'm probably not going to give that much feedback. I'm good, especially in a relationship. And then not with my friends. No, but in a relationship, because for me, I'm very old school and, what someone would call antiquated. I'm all about the male is the head in the home and he leads the home and you give him that respect. But then after being disrespected in a few relationships, I'm like, nope, I got just as much to say as you have. And now I'm trying to find that balance again, because I know that I know how to actively listen in the conversation and not even always respond. But in my communication, I feel like I have really, really good communication skills. But I got to get my sea legs back underneath me from scars of past relationships. But even thinking about the kids, you know what? I was I'm sorry, you all.
Don't be.
I was such a, again, old school parent. you know, it was, mm-mm. And why is for the school. I'm the mother. Don't keep on asking me all these whys because I don't have time to be explaining all this stuff. It's three of y'all running around here. However, they always had the balance of their dad. Their dad is like wonderful with being the nurturer, and I call him the jungle gym, and so on and so forth. So even in 2018, when I had to endure some health issues, I called my ex-husband. I was like, look, this is what's going on, whatever. Go ahead and tell the kids. Because I feel that as much as I have a hard exterior, I can't stand to see my kids cry. Like I don't like to see them hurt or anything like that. So I just leave all of that for their dad to deal with. You just talk to them about the hard conversations, and I'll just be over here waiting for you to get that together for me. So I enjoy this conversation. So I had to pop on for a few.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. And like you said, when you're in relationships, it takes time figuring out the person, let them figure out you, always having a voice, because I'm still an alpha female, but my husband is still the head of my household because I respect him. And I respect him because his actions and how he treats me, he deserves the respect that he gets. Now, every other dude now, nah, you ain't getting that serious. I go off how you treat me and respect, don't disrespect me. Because I don't disrespect anybody. That's my pet peeve. Don't be thinking it's cool or trying to be slick. I don't like that. And I will let you know quick, fast, in a hurry. And I can back up what I say. I try not to because we're grown now. But it's levels to everything. And I tell a lot of people like, oh, people think because I'm more vocal that, oh, she's more dominant in this relationship. I said, no. My husband talks to me all the time. And one thing about it, alpha females love alpha males. And just because you got a big mouth don't mean you're an alpha. You just got a big mouth. Let's keep it together. My husband's the only person who could tame me. The only one. And question, no, I could go there. And like you said, it's been growth. And I tell people I'm the woman I am today because of him and my kids. Because before I'd be like, I don't care what you said. Not like this, like, but I could be like this. I'd be like, what? You want to like go toe to toe. And I realized, and he knew that. And he had to learn me too. He's like, okay, when you take her there, she's going to be ready to throw. But like, I can't, he's like, I don't want to see black or red. But I had to learn how to communicate with him. Like he had to learn how to communicate with me and understand that outside voices don't matter. It only matters what's going on in this house. Is he happy? Am I happy with each other? But we have it's a respect. That's what it all boils down to. Because I told all the when I be talking to women and talk about my relation, oh, how you been together for so long? It's been good. I said I respect him and I changed. I ain't changing for no man. I said I didn't change for him. I changed for me. He just showed me a side of me that I didn't like. And when I changed, guess what? He changed. And that's what you call partnership. I tell anybody, you're not looking for a husband. You're looking for a partner who becomes your husband, where we never fight about finances. We never fight about your kids stuff. You know, we might have disagreement, but we always have meetings. We always have meetings about what's going on. It's never it's never that, because we have a love of respect and trust for one another. Like he tell people all the time, the only reason I know I got paid is because the lights and stuff is on. I don't know. We just do all the, and he has a finance degree, but I do all the finances. But he knows I don't play. I'm not this type of chick who be stashing money aside and stuff like that. When we got together, his credit score was low. He got over 800 something credit score. He got no debt. He's like, yo, my wife knows what the heck she's doing. We are partners. I can trust her. She trusts me. This is my role in this relationship. This is her role. And if she's tired, I'll pick up what she needs to be done. And be like, oh, you know, your husband, you this. No, but he still needs to know and value me, because I get tired too. So if I'm tired and I don't want to like doing something, well, you would take the day. Even like this weekend, it was Memorial Day. He's like, "No, you staying here. I'm taking the kids. You've been running around like crazy." And I just be like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. Like, I'm not to myself. I'll be tired too. It's been crazy in my life, and I've been dealing with my own health stuff. I told you, Shonda, off the screen, and just learning how to pour back into me. But when you have a partner, someone, like I said, who cares about you, who's genuine, both sides, because there's some people who have, like I said, malicious intent, and you get caught up with representatives, and then that's not what you expected, and then you wonder why the relationship is not working, because you didn't know who you were getting in a relationship with. And people are good at being active for long periods of time. The key is we just need to tap into our spirit show, man, which is God, to just say, if something ain't right, and listen to it. A lot of times we don't listen to it. We don't, you know, we need to, and then understand, you know, we have a voice as a woman. Don't let anybody, because one thing about it, God made us as a helpmate.
There it is.
How are you going to help somebody for a man's perspective, how is your woman going to help you and elevate you if you don't listen? And vice versa. It was a book that I read, and it wasn't a fictional book. It was a real, like a real book, like it was facts.
Right.
And it was this company, and they said they don't allow anybody to be partners or CEOs if they're not married.
Wow.
So it was a guy's story. He was waiting to be partner, but he couldn't get it unless he was married. The guy said, no, you're a different man when you have a wife. It shows a different level of commitment. It shows a different level of vulnerability. It shows a different understanding. If you're not married, you will not be making proper decisions because you haven't been vulnerable enough to give yourself.
Correct.
And that's what you want, because business is a relationship, and your marriage is the deepest relationship you can have. So if you haven't experienced that, how do you expect to run our company?
You know, a true alpha male does not have to walk around saying he's an alpha male. A true alpha male is one that knows his weaknesses, and he concedes to his wife and her strength because he knows it builds the unity of them. And I even have this thing. I was about to rant one day on Facebook, and I don't like to hear I'm a real man, because you know what? If you're a man, that's all I need to know. Because if you're a man, you're responsible, you're faithful, you're dedicated, you're loyal, you know, you work hard. You don't need to have adjectives when you're a man. You were born a male. But the way you show me that you're a man is by protecting the home, providing for the home, listening to me when I have something valid to say. So I'm often put off when someone says to me, I'm a real man, or this other one, I'm a grown man.
Or you need to make me feel like a man. I tell people all the time, you can't make me a woman. You can't make me feel like a woman. Yeah. I'm a woman with or without you. It's nothing going to change. I'm a woman. But it also, a lot of males say that. So it has to be maybe their upbringing, because I don't really see the opposite, the other race say that as much. And I'm thinking, I don't know, because I'm around them, but I haven't heard them say that. But it could be, of course, you got something, you look like you're Are you trying to
Let me
communicate
finish
something over
your
there?
thought because you may say what I'm going to say. So I'm just letting you
Mhm.
speak. Just to let you know
No,
I'm
you
done.
should say it because I haven't heard your voice for a while. So you say it, and I'll be like, I concur. Go ahead.
You're saying you haven't heard most men and other races say I'm a real man and stuff. That's what you're
And
saying.
other ethnicity groups, but I haven't dated. Well, I dated one, but he wasn't, Spanish.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
The reason why you don't hear that because when it comes to Black culture, we've been teared down so much. We have to keep reminding ourselves who we are to keep our
Correct.
confidence. When, to be honest, a lot of Black men are very insecure because what they go through on a daily.
Yeah,
So it's
and they don't feel like we
affirmation
understand.
because like you're gonna degrade me, belittle me. I already go through that all the time. Like, no, I'm a brand. I'm a real man. You gonna respect me? Like, know who I am. You know what I'm saying? But they do that. It's funny, but they do that just keep reminding themselves. You know. And people are like, no, you ain't gonna disrespect me. I don't care because I know who I am. And that's just like, no, because they've been through that before. People degraded them. They feel less than. So if a woman is trying to check your manhood, like, nah, don't do that. I'm a real man. I'm a real man. That can keep saying it because deep down inside, they're doing it so they can just get through the day, realizing that deep down inside, they're really not, and they're lacking a
Wait,
lot.
hold on before you say deep down inside. Or the problem can be is they're not sure what a real man is because they
Yeah,
haven't seen it. So they're going off of what they hear on what they think a real man is.
bare
And that's
minimum.
also parenting.
Right.
When it comes down, like my son, Quest knows, my son is the most confident little kid you will ever meet. Like nobody's better than him. No one's smarter than him. And it's not arrogance.
Right.
It's just, it's his mentality. And I tell everybody, and I tell my husband, I'm like, no, I don't ever want to break his spirit. One, because he already has a target on his back because he's Black. Two, he has another target because he's smart as heck. And three, he's athletic. He have all these things positive from him. And he comes from a great family. Hello, I'm his mama. So when you have that, you don't want to tear it down. Because Black boys are born with this strength and this might. But what happens over the years, people start pulling and tearing down their layers. And I said, nobody, no teacher, no nothing, nobody is going to make my son feel less than what he is. So I let his old chest puffed up. My husband, like, your son think he's me. Like today I was reading my book in the living room and I come in my room. I'm like, I saw my husband in our office. So I'm in my room, like, who's in my room? My son's sitting where my husband lives in his spot with the remote watching TV up in my room. I said, you don't get your behind up out of my husband. You better get out of my spot. Dad, your spot's so comfortable too. And he's like, this dude's where he meet. Well, I was like, well, that's not a bad person to look up to. He's like, I know, but get his little behind up my bed. But he does it all the time. He'll come in here and get when we're not in here, he'll sneak in and lay on the side of the bed with my and I was like, yo, if you don't get your little behind my bed, my dad, I'm comfortable over here. But I said, you don't want to break that spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Even in my relationship with my husband, I always make sure I affirm him and let him know. And different roles, everybody has a different dynamic of what they feel they need from their partner.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Because finances changes because life happens. So you can't base your manhood on what's in your pocket. You can't base your manhood on outside. Your manhood comes from your character. Are you a go-getter? Are you gonna make sure we ain't hungry? Are you gonna make sure if somebody step up to me, I don't care if they're giant, you're gonna say, nah, you're gonna have to kill me before you get to her. Like those are characteristics.
Correct.
Everything ain't finance because money you can come and go. You can make one bad purchase and be screwed. So you can't use those things to define you. You just got to know I'm a good person. I know what it takes to survive. You know what I'm saying? And come together with somebody who can level you up and you could pull up together. Everything is partner and teamwork. So for people to say, if you have to say to your partner that you're a man, either you have insecurity issues or you with the wrong person. Because my husband never had to say, Whitney, I'm a man. I'm like, I know what's going on between your legs. I know what happened. I have 2 kids with you. Obviously, you are. I have a vagina. You have a baby. So you are born that.
Correct.
Now, if you act like a man, that's another situation. But people communicating, you know what I'm saying? And then they have to realize too, don't break us down because you have insecurities. And that's why I let my son cry. I don't let him have a tissy fit. But I said, you have the right to feel however you feel. If you hurt, you fell and your leg is swollen, you have a right to say, I feel pain and I want to cry. You don't have a right to do it for 5 hours, but you have the right to, even with my daughter, either one, I'm saying, no, it's levels of everything. You have to learn how to control some things because people will use, when they know your weaknesses, they'll use that against you. But he has a right to be sad. He has a right to be mad. He has a right to be happy, giddy, goofy, whatever. But learn how to balance and control those things. And as people, male and female, we all have the right to express those things to anybody in a respectable way. I could tell you pissed me off. I could tell you hurt my feelings. It's still a communication. And you should be, if you're a guy, able to share that with your spouse. And if you're female, you should be able to share that with your mate as well.
Mhm.
Because if you can't share your most vulnerable feelings and places and wounds with the person you lay with at night, that's a problem. Because I'm from good stock, and anybody can be laying up on my bed. Because these are jewels that I want to share, and I know you keeping it, you praying for me. You know what I'm saying? We can't do that.
Mhm.
That is a huge warning sign. Like, you're not supposed to. If somebody, but okay, get over it. You don't need to be with that person because they're insensitive or they don't know how to communicate. They need to go see Jesus or a therapist or whoever. But we need to understand in our community that it's okay to hurt. It's okay to feel how you feel, but understand that doesn't change your sexuality. You're a male or female or, whatever you want to be called nowadays. I don't want to disrespect anybody, but the premise of what we're talking about is heterosexual relationships right now, where we're talking about communication. Everyone on here is in a heterosexual relationship. So if anybody who's watching who's not, this is not a conversation to offend anyone. We're just speaking on our personal experiences, but communication goes in any type of relationship. But I'm saying if you're with a male or female, whatever you choose your sexuality to be, if you can't share your most deepest thought, if somebody's not a safe place, then without them saying, I'm a man or I'm this or I'm that, or even females doing it, talking to about it, then y'all don't need to be in a relationship together.
There's so many people who, when they see me and they see me out and they see how I am.
How thick you are? That booty licious. I said, is that shot over there? All that cake.
But people will see me, and because I'm an alpha female. Mm-hmm. But then when they actually sit down and hear me talk about how I feel a relationship goes between a man and a woman, again, because you said this is what I date, I am not the female. Black men already go through a lot. And I was going to say exactly, we were all on the same page. I understand where it comes from, why Black men feel the need to keep saying, I'm a man, I'm a real man, I'm this, because they're tested
every day
so much. And now it's to the point where men aren't being raised by men. And so oftentimes they don't know how to, in a conversation, hear an opposing thought from a woman and not take it as you're challenging me. Babe, I'm not challenging you. I am stating my perspective. And in a different conversation, even if I challenge you, you should want your significant other to challenge you to be better, to be the best version of you every day that you all are together. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, respectfully so. But you should want, I ended a relationship that my friends were laughing at me last year. They was like, girl, you got a boo and lost a boo all in a pandemic. What? 3 months. And you want to know why? Because he was an alpha male, but he did not understand that I had an opinion and I had a perspective. In his mind, I'm the male. You do all that chit-chatting with your girlfriends. I'm the male, you can't tell me anything. But he didn't understand also that if it were truly that way, God would have never took your rib and decided that there needed to be a me.
Say that.
So, when you're and he put you first, because when he took your rib and placed me here, he wanted me to recognize that you were here first. And
he wanted everything complete before I got here.
Correct.
You got to remember that. And I just want to piggyback before you finish, where I forget this thought.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is in relationship and the male versus female thing and alpha. Listen, women and men, we all have to be strong. Right. Just because we're strong individuals, have a mindset, doesn't mean we're not feminine. Doesn't mean we don't want to be whole. I'm a lady all day. I want you to hold my hand. I want to be like, okay, daddy. But doesn't mean it just shows I'm not weak. I have an opinion. I have a strong mind. But I'm still a woman. I don't want to do everything. I'm not carrying the groceries. I'm not taking out the trash. If I had to, yeah. If I had to shovel the school, yeah, but I'm not going to do it because that's what you're here for. And if you say, hey, wait, I need X, Y, and Z, bet. I'm still a lady at the end of the day, and I'm still a female, and I like getting taken care of. But doesn't mean I won't take care of you.
True. And I don't understand how men and women can go to work. When we go and apply for a job, we have a job title and there's roles and responsibilities. But inside of a relationship, people want to ignore that there are roles and responsibilities. And we each need to hold up to our end of that role, stay in that lane, and maintain those responsibilities. I don't need to jump outside. When dealing with someone new, what have you, I'm like, look, I want to be driven around. I want to be pampered. I want to be catered to, but I'm going to do the same for you. I don't want any man of mine going fixing a plate. What are you doing that for? I'm cooking. I'm going to prepare. Now, there's times where, when I was married, if I'm cooking or whatever, and we might run late, he would set the table. One of the things, my ex-husband's mom in particular was extremely shocked, along with quite a few of our core people. They were extremely shocked when we said that we were separating, because we were like the two of you, where we may have had a disagreement once or twice a year. We sat around giggling and laughing too much. And so, and even like I valued when I was pregnant or after I'd given birth and I was nursing, my husband would be like, I may not be able to cook you a full course meal, but I can get in this kitchen and do enough that we need, because you know what? You gave birth to our baby. You're nursing. You need your rest. Your body needs to rest. He was one. I tell anyone to this day, my ex-husband is one of the best prospects as a husband. Do we all have our flaws? Yes. So I'm not saying, because we know no one is ever perfect. However, but him as a husband, for the type of relationship because then what we discovered was we weren't necessarily on the same page about what partnership looked like. So therefore, things weren't jiving the way that we necessarily needed them to jive. It's
just bedtime, Mom. You're so live. I'm supposed to say good night.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
So I'm gonna hear you.
And so, he grew up in a different household. I grew up in a single parent household, and he grew up in a 2-parent household. But hey, honey.
Time to go to bed.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night, please.
I don't want to hear no talking.
Ooh. But
talk for 45 minutes. I swear they will. Hey, we can't hear him. Go in bed.
But at the same time, we did do really well with knowing our roles and staying in our lane. And I was a stay-at-home mom. And I say it this way: he afforded me the opportunity, and he allowed me the privilege of being able to stay at home and raise my children. And there were even people who at our wedding gasped when I said love, honor, and obey. Absolutely. Because when a man has your best interest, first of all, when he's a God fearing man and he has your best interest at heart, he's not going to lead you wrong. So why wouldn't you obey him? So that's what women don't understand. I'm not saying submit to someone who's mistreating you or steering you the wrong direction or does not have your best interest at heart. But for someone who has the characteristics of one who should be submitted to and obeyed, I'm thankful that God blessed me to be a female, because you know what? I would not any day of the week want the stress of a man. It's a lot. And I just
Yeah, definitely in our community, like you said. The problem is when people are like, oh, I ain't gonna do it, because people don't really know the real definition of any of these words. They go off what they see on TV or what they heard from all these people. Most people don't even know about anybody who's really happily married. They just know people who just stuck through the mess. But the key is, when, like I said, respect and communication. Like you said, your ex was a great person. You guys just ended up separating because maybe at that time you grew apart. People do grow apart. Life happens to everybody. Everybody deals with stuff differently. We're always evolving. And when I met my husband at 19, into 30 plus something, I'm a whole different woman, vice versa with him. But the thing is, like you said, he can lead me wherever the heck we going, because I know he ain't gonna have me somewhere in no ditch. And vice versa. If I'm like, oh, John, let's go this way, he'll be like, I went, because he trusts my judgment. We've been through so many things together. That's like I said, he has a degree, a master's in finance. I do the finances. He does it at work, but he come home, he don't want to do all of that. But I'm very good at what I do in our personal life, and we have a partnership. You know what I'm saying? We both save, but I'm like, hell, we can afford it. We're going to do it. Like, I'm glad we did that. I'm glad you decided to do that. You know what, John, you was like, we shouldn't have did that. So you have to have it, because we are yin and yang. We don't think alike. You know what I'm saying? We have two different personalities, but we work very well together, because like my mom says, she said, y'all work because y'all are really a team. And my mom is about to be 60, and she goes, I haven't seen anybody, and it always warmed my heart when she said that, is such a team like you and John. She's like, I don't care if she's been married, she's married. Y'all are the definition of team. And she goes, I love it. It makes me proud every day as your mother. How, she said, I used to be your number one, but I know he's your number one. But she goes, I don't feel a way about it, because you still love me and he's supposed to be. And I know you his number one. Nobody comes before you, and no one. She goes, y'all both spoil. He spoils you, and you spoil him. And I'm like, isn't that how it's supposed to be? That's why you got to
the Bible says a man shall leave and cleave.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's wonderful for him to have a mother-in-law who understands, with the closeness of the two of you, because that's also important too when the close family members
exactly
respects the unity and doesn't meddle and get involved and praises.
Mm-hmm.
I see so many times now on this trash TV where the mother-in-law's got so much to say all up in the relationship. And then let me tell you, because if someone disrespect my dad the way I see on some of these TV shows where they talk to each other's parents crazy, you definitely not the one for me, because I don't even talk to my dad crazy. And you think that you're
respect. You don't respect each other. My husband would never disrespect my mother or my parents, and I would never disrespect any of his, because I respect him that much.
right.
And at the end of the day, even if I didn't respect him, that's my elder. I just have respect. And if you're doing a situation that I don't like, I know I'm grown enough to remove myself from the situation so it doesn't become ugly. And we have to understand that. We set boundaries. Like, I won't tell my mom or my sister the nasties, or I'm going through something crazy with my husband, because they only got my perspective and my view. Why would we paint their view of who he is, and then we make up tomorrow and like, what? And then like, well, he like, then I'm with defending him. He's like, what? Well, you said, I don't remember. No, don't do that. it's okay to vent, because sometimes I do call Quest Vic just because I'm overwhelmed.
Right.
I'm not saying he's not doing his.
No. It's
but
like
I have so much going on. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? I
you're
have
a
a lot
friend,
going
your
on.
sister, a daughter.
You know what I'm saying? I have
Yeah.
100 titles. She called me a slasher. And sometimes too, I don't want to vent to him because he has a lot going on. He takes care of this household financially. And I don't want to stress him out. And he doesn't do well if he thinks I'm stressed. Because now he's stressed because I'm stressed. Why is she stressed? What's going on? What can I do? Yo, wait, you know what I'm saying? Even if I say I'm going to go on 500 trips, yo, how I can make sure she's going 500 trips? I don't know what she thinks we're millionaires. Like, but it will stress him out. So I had to learn that. I can't always tell him all my desires because now he's trying to figure out how to make my dreams come true. And I love that, but it stresses him out at the same time. Like, okay, we're going to do this. Let me figure out if we can do that. Da, da, da. And I love it because it's the same thing. If he mentioned anything to me, I'm like, how can I get you? You know, we think alike. So I had to realize that and change my wording or communication with him. And if I am overwhelmed, I'm trying to feel, okay, Father's Day coming up. He want to do this. Okay, we got this. Da, da, da. I'm like, yo, question. She go, what? She goes, you look stressed. And then we just like, but it's not in a, oh, he ain't no good. Da, da, da.
Right. No.
I'm over. That's why she's like, what? I just want to let you know I love you and to breathe today. Like she'll send me a text just saying something like that because she's like, people don't realize how much you really do. And people just think, oh, everything's sweet. Because when she come and visit me, she's like, I want to help you. But she said, even when I'm on the phone with you, you're always, this is the only time I'm really sitting this long. Even when I was talking to you the other day, I have my headphones on, moving around, cleaning stuff, yeah, and I'm doing stuff in the background.
Right.
So, but she understands that because she sees it and you get it because you're a mom and stuff like that. So you understand the dynamic and the complexity of a wife, a mom, I'm saying home mom, entrepreneur, so many different things that people don't get.
Mm-hmm. I have to jump in because as much as I am thoroughly enjoying this conversation, I got to attend to something that I told someone that I would do. So I have thoroughly enjoyed. I probably still will be listening, but I just can't be.
We about to get off. It's getting late. I need to take.
I
just finished working out.
What are you doing even still up anyway?
Girl, that's how my day been. My show's supposed to start at 6.
Right.
It didn't because I've been. Clients are traveling. It's been so crazy with the business. And then of course, I'm like, yo, I'm with a client. I'm talking to this person. I had like 5 different people. We were on here and she could hear me in the background laughing, hearing me typing on my computer. She goes, you're so funny. And I'm like, she said, so when are we going to start? 7. I mean, 7 past. She goes, 8. I said, yeah, we're going to get it. So that's why I said I could do my daughter here. I didn't eat dinner. I was like, I'll probably eat cereal tonight. I don't like eating heavy. And it's already been late. So I was like, I'll have like some cereal or something and I'll eat my dinner for lunch tomorrow. But I just been super busy. So I'm about to get off of here too when Quest shows her face. But thank you for coming in. We're going to have you back probably at the end of the month. We usually talk about relationship. I forgot last week. I was so tired. I will have the whole thing. And we'll bring you back on. And we can just, have a guy up here. I love having like male and female perspective. And it's always at the end of the month. And then I can talk about couple trips.
Right.
So thank you for tuning in. Do what you need to do. We love you for watching. Thank you.
Well, you all have a great evening.
You too. Bye. Yeah, T-Quest in the background because I took over all her time. She's been sitting with me for hours and I never got on here. But guys, we can talk about relationships all day. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please send feedback and topics that you might want us to talk about. If you want to be a guest on a panel when we do our relationship show, please let me know. We do try to do it at the end of every month. And also don't forget to check me out at whitneysescapes.com. If you need email, hit me up at travel@whitneysescapes.com. I have so many good trips coming on. I'll probably put a poll up there. You guys know we're doing Morocco next year. I have some other thing like Egypt and Bali. Like I'm trying to figure out what trip after that. So I like to give you guys enough time to plan. We got so many cool things. Thank you. Coming up. I'm working with T-Quest, where she does all my flyers and my graphics and stuff. So please check her out.
GLM Designs. You have to say the name.
Yeah, GLM Designs. She's amazing. She was yelling at me earlier because she did some flowers. I'm like, oh, I forgot to sing. Oh, then you tell me and send me this. So I appreciate everything that she does for me. I still got to send her some more stuff. But we have
What?
some really cool things.
Oh.
I know. We have some really cool things in store, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I know, we went longer than usual, but when it's flowing, it's flowing. I'm glad you enjoyed the show, DJ Cyclops. I enjoyed your interview. It was yesterday. I did
Yep.
enjoy that. I thought it was a really, really good interview. And people who didn't check it out, please check out that interview. It was really good. I loved how authentic and open and honest he was about and vulnerable. And that's what's talking about when we talk about guys being able to be like that, and he was able to do that. And I really, really, I thought that was an excellent interview, Quest. I already told you that off the screen, but because I saw his name and it made me remind, I thought that was a really, really good interview. And DJ El Nino, my favorite guy. Yeah, so
No, don't call me favorite guy because clearly John is.
Oh, John is my number one. Like God, and then my husband. John is my John, Jan, and then you know me, my dude though, because I do really like you. Question, I don't like a lot of people, but I do like you. You spend the same. You're that cool, like you know what I'm saying, in a cut type dude. But John is my heart, and then Jan, that's my dad and stuff like that. But I like you guys. And I don't like a lot of people, but I like you guys. I like authentic people who's the same. But it's true. People who have so many.
I know that.
You know me, Quest. I'm like, don't come over here. It's a couple of people though that I have met over the years, who I guess because they have matured and grown. Not saying him, but in general, men that I kind of like, okay, you're a cool dude. But before, like they were whack because I think they're just finally coming into themselves. And but I just want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Please check me out. Check out my website. I'm actually updating it this weekend to put some new things up there. I'll be dropping out some new flyers for new trips. And I got some things in store, and I think you guys are going to really like it. I hope you like it. And if you don't, please communicate that to me. You guys are my audience. You guys are my consumers. I won't know if you don't tell me. So please stay tuned. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're not already following me, please follow me at everything at Whitney's Escapes on all your social media platforms. Please check out GLM. She is an ultimate slasher as well. She has a GLM design. She has a GLM cosmetics. She has a GLM clothing line. She's a voiceover guy. She has a GLM radio. I could go on all day, and I'm already tired, so I'm not. I already went over way longer than I was expecting to do tonight, but I am happy that we're here and you guys are my people. Love all you guys for watching. And please follow T-Quest at everything T-Quest GLM. And we love you guys for watching.
Bye.
Do you work too much? Constantly on the go? Miss hanging out with friends, family, or even yourself? Do you ever feel like you need an escape? Whitney's Escapes is here to help with just that. We specialize in family travel, autism travel, group trips, vacations, staycations, and more. So when you're ready for your next escape, make sure you contact us at whitneysescapes.com. Follow us on social media at Whitney's Escapes as well. Whitney's Escapes, where your dreams become your reality.